Can a bulging disc get worse?
Helping you relieve pain, conquer stress, and supercharge your health the chiropractic way.
Hey there, it's Dr. Walter Salubro here again. Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to answer the question that is on a lot of people's mind about disc bulges or disc problems, and it's, can a bulging disc get worse? And before I get into the answer to this question, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that red subscribe button. Click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new fresh video content on how to relieve chronic pain, whether it's pain from spine, whether it's pain from nerves, muscles, or disc problems. And of course, you get tutorials and demonstrations on exercise tips and strategies that you can do at home as well. Well, can a disc bulge get worse? Well, it's a good question to ask. In fact, if there's already a bulging disc in the spine, that's already an indication that there's damage to that disc structure. Also, there's got to be some kind of distortion to the biomechanical alignment and the structural alignment of the spine that may have led to that as well. It may have been also from trauma, very possible, or a combination of both. But the more likely situation is that there was some kind of degeneration that occurred over many years that led to some weakness in the disc and caused it to bulge. Discs are load-bearing or weight-bearing structures, and their main purpose is to provide the shock-absorbing ability between the bones of the spine, right? So we have a spine over here, there's bone, and here's a disc in between. Well, it's a very strong structure, but it's designed to absorb shock up and down. So it's very, very important, and protects one bone from the other so it doesn't get damaged when it's aligned properly. And when there's a structural distortion on the spine, it can cause damage to that disc, local inflammation, local pain, cause a lot of issues, a lot of problems. And it usually starts with a minor disc bulge or a mild disc bulge. And if it's not corrected properly, especially the alignment of the spine, it's not stabilized properly, there is a potential for that disc bulge to actually get worse down the road, to continue down the degenerative process, because the spine does degenerate over many years when it's out of position, and it gets worse and worse, and it keeps progressing unless you stop that progression somehow, especially with corrective techniques that we apply with chiropractic care, and you begin to improve the alignment of the spine. So we do know that it can progress, especially if it's not corrected properly. And whether the symptoms are there or not in a bulging disc, and that's something that's really key for you to get, is that there could be a bulging disc or a disc bulge and have no symptoms whatsoever. It's just the way the body is. Sometimes there's no reaction to the actual tissue injury, and there's no noxious stimulation that's occurring on that you are aware of, but the potential for that injury is very, very high, and potential for inflammation is also very, very high because of the actual damage. So when that's not corrected or restored properly, the propensity or the possibility for it to continue to degenerate down the road is very possible. And in fact, it even makes the spine weaker in that area. The load-bearing effects of the discs are also weaker. So future bending and loading and trauma to the back or insult to the back can actually continue to weaken that disc even further. And a bulging disc may go from mild to moderate, and from moderate to severe. And eventually, when there's damage on the annular fibers of the disc, so as annular tears, then the inside part of the disc, which is called the nucleus polposus, may actually begin to herniate. So that's the next progression. It'll begin to herniate. And there's different levels of disc herniation, which I'll talk about in another video. But when it begins to herniate, now it becomes even more serious and has more potential for damage to nerves on the outside or on the inside of the spinal cord. So I know it's kind of somber news, but the key thing is that if there's a disc bulge there, you want to find out what's causing it. If it's a structural problem on the spine, needs to be corrected. One of the best ways to do that is through chiropractic care. So I hope you found this useful, and if you liked it, go ahead and click on the like button below. Share with your family and friends if you got some insights out of this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get more insights and tips and tutorials on how to relieve pain, whether it's pain from spine, joint, discs, muscles, chronic pain. And if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments below. Talk to you on the next video.
To learn more about how corrective chiropractic care at Back to Health Chiropractic Center can help you with your chronic pain problem, visit www.ibthcc.com. Back to Health Chiropractic Center is located at 20 Cranston Park Avenue, number 6, Vaughan, Ontario, L6A2W2.